So you had a big event last night in Iowa City.
That's right.
Now, I've been a fan of Vampire Weekend, right? Even though I'm not in their demographic, I think they have great music, right? It's just everybody loves their music. I didn't know you guys were political. Have you always been political, or was it Bernie that got you going?
I mean, we're about as political as any person who votes, but I guess it would be fair to say this is the first time we've kind of done anything in support of a candidate in like electoral politics like this.
And what was it that made you guys decide to do something at this time?
I mean, really just the more I learned about Bernie, the more excited I got about him. I mean, to go back and look at his years as the lonely one independent in the House and the Senate, to look at his consistency in terms of what he's been advocating for. It wasn't really a hard choice. In terms of specifically coming to Iowa, at first we were kind of like mutual friend with Killer Mike, and I was saying to this dude, man, I kind of want to do something. Maybe we should like raise some money, get some people together in New York or LA or something. And he's like, oh, I know somebody at the campaign via Mike. So he hits up Luis, who works for the campaign, and said, should we do a fundraiser? And said, you know what, actually we don't need money right now. Obviously Bernie's killing it with the small donations. Like, we don't need money as much as we need people to come to Iowa. So we said, all right, we'll go to Iowa.
Oh, fantastic. And so what surprised you? Did anything surprise you about the supporters or the event or anything?
Well, like for instance, when I just said on Twitter, I'm going to Iowa to support Bernie Sanders, you definitely get a lot of people kind of clowning on the Bernie campaign as being essentially, there's this phrase, Bernie bros. So people were kind of roasting me a little bit, kind of like, oh, you're a Bernie bro. It's a bunch of like white bros supporting old white guy. So, I was kind of curious, like, if Bernie is really true to his message, his campaign shouldn't be a bunch of old and somewhat old white guys. So one thing that was cool is to actually come meet people on the campaign. I think the media narrative has kind of erased a lot of the women and people of color who are very involved. I mean, just met Bernie's national press secretary. He's a 25-year-old woman. It's incredible. So I guess meeting people on the campaign, it was what I hoped for. It'd be, because, it'd be weird if a guy like Bernie, who last night is talking about the way that our criminal justice system is so racist, the war on drugs is punishing black people in a way it doesn't punish white people. If a guy who was saying that stuff, his campaign was not inclusive, I'd feel pretty weird about that. So to actually get here, meet so many people, I loved it. I feel even more positive about it.
And so do you fear, now was it a tough choice between Trump or Bernie Sanders for you?
Well, as a New Yorker, that's the Subway series, Queens versus Brooklyn, but all my family's from Brooklyn and the Bronx, so fuck Trump. I don't need that.
And now, are you going to be doing another event tonight in Ames? Is that correct?
No.
You're out?
Yeah, no, I'm about to catch a flight out. But honestly, getting like a taste of this, I wish I could stay longer. I hope I can help the campaign in more ways, and I'm truly praying that he wins tomorrow.
So now, would you consider yourself a progressive or a Democrat or a liberal or just a concerned citizen?
I would say just a concerned citizen. I mean, I think anytime you label yourself, sometimes you got to earn those labels. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's been some valid critiques of Bernie. Like sometimes people say, well, is Bernie truly a radical? What about these things that may be truly radical positions that he might not support? And those are really important questions to ask. So you call yourself I mean, just like so many clowns call themselves liberals and progressives that, like, from where I sit, I would hope that I would earn that designation rather than getting into this whole, I mean, obviously I don't consider myself conservative. I was raised in a liberal household. My heart will always be with the left, but...
So you would consider yourself, you would be pro single-payer health care, you would be pro free college, you would be... No, what do you say?
Of course, yeah, and also... It's like funny that people keep saying, I mean, I know that you're not saying this, but it's like you keep hearing people, oh, free college. Everybody's going to have free college. It's like, well, who's listening to the man last night? It's not everybody's going to have free college. It's our public institutions, our public colleges and universities will be free. That's his idea. Harvard's not going to be free. Columbia is not. You're still going to be. They'll still be producing all sorts of sociopaths at those schools who paid $50,000 a year. Like, you don't have to worry about that. Public universities should be free.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
So let me ask: is there anything about Bernie that you wish was a little different, or you'd like to see him improve on, or anything you're disappointed with?
I wouldn't use the word disappointed. I think I'm learning about him like a lot of people here, like very quickly. I know that he has a long history of being dedicated to things that I believe in. We'll see. I mean, are there, I don't know, like people were saying that he was saying something about continuing the drone program in Pakistan. So I was kind of like, okay, what is that? So I started like reading more about that because obviously I believe that the American people deserve to be safe. I believe that our soldiers should be safe. But from what I've heard about that drone program, we as a country have done some horribly immoral things. So, I would like kind of want to know more about that. He has so much credibility in my book as somebody who's opposed a kind of like imperialist, violent foreign policy that I would want to know more about that. So why do you support the drone program? Are there things that he wishes about the drone program that were not the case that he wants to change? So I think there's like clarifications that need to happen, but it's going to be a long campaign, so there will be time for that.
So that would kind of dovetail with Bernie's, because he's not a religious person, but he says his religion, or I might be paraphrasing, that we're all connected.
Right.
And so that drone program would kind of be a problem with the theory of we're all connected. And are you religious? Do you have any kind of religious affiliation, and how do you feel about Bernie's lack of one?
I would never judge somebody for having a lack of religious affiliation. Personally, I was, raised by a Jewish family, born in a majority Christian nation. Christianity has also impacted me, has been important to me as a student. Just, Islam, Buddhism have also, I think, brought a lot of like wisdom into my life. So I'm very interested in religion. Probably a lot of religious people would not call me religious. So look, people could talk about their religious beliefs all they want, but if it doesn't come down to the single most important aspect of all religions, which is that we're all connected, then who cares? We see every day, we see people under the banner of Christianity and Judaism doing shockingly immoral things. So I would much rather have a crunchy dude from Vermont saying we're all connected and supporting policies that imply that we're all connected. And if he does support any policies that don't imply that we're all connected, then we've got to throw the brakes on and see what's up,
I hear you. All right, and one last question. So I'm with the Young Turks, and we have a young audience. And do you have a message to the young people that you'd like to get across this election season?
I just want to say to all the young people of all genders who are overwhelmingly supporting Bernie, don't let old people clown on you and make you feel guilty about it. Don't let old people take this narrative that you shouldn't be supporting this guy, because Bernie's 74 years old, you're however old you are, and you're building a cross-generational coalition to support this dude. So if some crusty old 60-something person tries to clown on you for that, don't let them. There's a lot of people of all ages who believe in what you believe.
Okay. Hey, thanks for taking time. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you.